Stand up. Get that silent prayer out to whoever needs it. Yep. Be seated. Man to man. It's going to start off the same all the time. Genesis 1:26. Man to man. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, over the earth, and every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. Let man have dominion. Man, it's all yours. They done made us believe that it's not ours. This is all about us. And until we start realizing that, again, man, we're going to be in a bad situation. We're going to always be in a bad place. Genesis 1:26. Once you start thinking that you're not who your father said you was, your life is doomed for failure from then on. You're either playing the rules by someone else's game, or you doing that of Satan. You doing the will of Satan. Plain and simple. When you get done, me and my good friend Walt, and a couple of my brothers last night, we was talking. When you get done at the end of the day, all this is about is right and wrong. You know right and wrong. You can feel it as soon as it happens. As soon as you look and see it, you know right and wrong. So when people be telling you, believe in this and believe in that, man, listen, God already put this in you. It's already there. Right and wrong, godly and ungodly. It's already in you. The rest of it is just to trick you out your money. Keep you in a slave state of mind. Keep you bowing down and bowing out for someone else greater than you, for someone else you'll never get a chance to meet, for someone else you'll never get a chance to say hi to, for someone else you'll never get a chance to break bread with. You're going to put all that faith in something or someone else to do something that you have never saw before. But your mama, but your brother, your daddy, you would take them through hell and high water. Someone that you eat with, someone that you break bread with, someone that you sleep in the same house with. You will stand and fight them tooth and nail. And then as soon as you say something about God, you believe. You can't believe if you fighting your brother. You can't believe if you fighting your sister. You can't achieve if you fighting anybody. You can't do nothing but lose. You might win the fight, but I promise you, you're going to lose the battle. Promise you, you're going to lose the battle. This is about taking care of our business. I'm looking at my pockets. I'm filling my pockets right now. Let me get the phone out the way. Because ain't nothing else in them. They don't eat. We got to come up with a plan. We talked about this last week. We got to come up with a plan to put some money in our pockets, man. That's the godly thing to do. God said go out and be fruitful and multiply. How you going to be fruitful and multiply with no money? What's being fruitful and multiplying? In what? Like what? If it ain't money. If it ain't wealth. What is he asking you to be fruitful and multiply in? What? If it ain't money. So we got to figure out, man, how to create some finance. That's the only way we're going to be able to do what God told us to do, and that's take care of our children. Take care of our families. You ain't got no money, you ain't taking care of nothing. First and foremost, church have to be about finances. And I'm not talking about only taking yours. I'm talking about taking yours and making it work so we can get money for all of us. That's what the church got to be about. Church can't be about whoever's first, stay first. Whoever last, stay flat. That sounds like Republicans and Democrats to me. If you ain't got no money when you come in, keep praying, and if somebody come give you something, you still ain't gonna have nothing. That's not church. That's evil. That's keeping you messed up. That's keeping you somewhere you ain't supposed to be. bowing down, bowing out, turning the other cheek. Man, my God was a strong God. My God told me to be strong and courageous. He didn't tell me to bow down to nothing or nobody. No, nothing. He said it's about you and only you, period. He didn't say nothing else. That's why, man, look, when they tell you to read these scriptures, guess what they done already when you start reading these scriptures? I'm putting out a couple more things because, like I said, we finna get this out of here. When they teach you to start reading these scriptures, guess what they done already done? They done already planted the seed on how you are going to interpret the scriptures. You already been misled. You already been misguided from the door, because they got you thinking that your father is gonna murder you. Your father ain't gonna let you into heaven. They got us believing that the only way we can get anything out of this life is to be a punk. Punk. P-U-N-K. Punk. That is the only way that they want us to believe that we can get something out of this reality that we're living in. God never said I had to be a punk. In fact, he told me to do all the stuff that they tell me not to do. Told me to take my shirt off and give it to you if you need it. He told me to give you some water if you're thirsty. In fact, we just read, you go to prison, he told me I gotta come see you. Because if you don't do it for them, you ain't did it for him. All of them is his children. All of us come from the same place. And until we start thinking like family, we're gonna always have bodies out there in the front. Until we start thinking like family, I don't care nothing about how light-skinned you is or how dark you is. Until we start thinking like family and start caring about whether you live or die, whether your mom gonna have to go bury her only son, your sister's gonna have to come up without their big brother. Until we start thinking like that, man, I don't care how much preaching and how much hooping and hollering we do, man, we're gonna have bodies out there, man. We gotta get to know each other. We got to learn how to love each other again. Because every time I go somewhere, they teach me how to hate somebody. They teach me how to mistrust. How to, if he ain't right, then you watch him, stay away from him. Man, that's not the way of God. That's not the way of my brotherhood, period. We do what we have to do to take care of ourselves. Where your brother at? You know where he at? He on the job, he working. You know why? Put him to work this morning. And that's what we're gonna do. With everybody that come through that door that don't have a job, we're gonna try to find a job for you to do. We're gonna try to put you to work. That's what being about man stuff. Being able to go to work, being able to take care of your family, being able to fend for yourself and not wait for anyone to do it for you. Because he done already told you what you're supposed to do. What do you want me to keep telling you every day? This is what you're supposed to do? I'm gonna tell you every day, as if you don't have no sense? You don't know how this works? My mother said 40 hours a week. That was every day, 8 hours a day. She didn't have a GED. That's my mom. And I love her to death. But guess what? She retired, living in a big old house, driving a Cadillac, took care of her kids. Now she's taking care of herself. That's what you can do with less. When it ain't about what you don't have, it's about what you got already. God already told you, man, look, bro, you built like a tank. When you build like a tank, and when you start realizing that, look, your father's that one right there, and you built like a tank, can't nothing touch you. Can't nothing stand against you. That's what the scripture's talking about when you know how you built. When you built like that, when you put that in, man, ain't nothing nobody can say to you that can't shake your foundation. Can't shake your foundation when you built like that. It's like going to the weight pit, building up them muscles. Here we gonna build up these muscles. Because when you build up these, can't touch you. Can't nobody touch you. Can't nobody stand before. They can't pull the wool over your eyes. They can't tell you scripture, make it sound like scripture, make it look like scripture, knowing that it ain't scripture because they done took out the main ingredient. Which makes sure what? Now the cake don't taste like nothing. Can't get the job done, can't complete the, the job at hand, simply because there's one missing ingredient. Y'all know how cake tastes with no sugar. You can laugh. Y'all know how cake tastes with no sugar. Ain't got no self-rising flour in it, ain't even gonna rise. You're gonna look like wet dough. Y'all know what it do. But this is what we have to do, man. We have to start thinking differently. And I'm telling you something right now, man, this is gonna take more time and more effort than one realizes. I'm asking you guys to do something, man, it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of effort. But at the end of the day, the rewards is gonna be great. Because not only is you gonna be doing the will of your Father, you're gonna be doing the will of yourself. That sounds spooky. You are your Father's son, right? What y'all want? That you thought you wanted you to be done? That's right. What father do you know want their child to be less than them? Again. What father do you know want their child to be less than them? It's a reason why your daddy tell you what you need to know, what he know. And then what else do he do? He's sending you off to school so somebody else can teach you what they know. So if you got everything that your daddy know, and then you got everything that Jarvis know, then you already got more than what your daddy had. Already. No one wants their child to be less than them. The only time your father wants you to be fearful of him is when you're doing something wrong. It's when you're doing something wrong. That's your daddy. That's your father. If you built like a tank, then imagine what he built like. And imagine his protection. It's your father. The grand scheme of things was for you to be better. That is the overall grand scheme of things. That's not the way it's being taught. It's being taught to keep your hands tied. That was not the grand scheme of your father. To tie your hands, to bound you. It's not his message. Never was his message. It's about man. He made it about man. And God said, let us make man in our image. You got to trust man. You have to love man. If you do not love man, let me be the first one to tell you, you do not love God. If you got a problem with man, you got a problem with God. If you say that man ain't perfect, then guess what? You really got a problem with God. His greatest creation. Man, the first thing he created. And made it perfect. Man was the very first. His greatest creation. His greatest creation. Are you hearing me? Man. Anybody that tells you anything about man, how imperfect he is, how useless he is, how terrible he is, you need to look him in the face and tell him to go worship your father, Satan. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to take you down with them. It's called a crab in a barrel effect. They want to keep everybody messed up the same way. As long as you messed up the same way, they ain't got to keep tabs on you. They know you're going to do the same thing. You're going to fight the same fight. The losing fight. You're going to fight the exact same fight that our brothers and sisters been fighting for the last 100 years in this country. And we still losing. Jesse Jackson getting old, ain't nothing been solved. TDJ still, they done got paid off. That's just what it is. Ain't nothing getting solved. And you can tell them, in fact, we're going to put it out there. I'm going to tell them I said it myself. You run around here, you tying our hands, you bounding your people, you making sure they don't succeed. You coming up with solutions, short-term solutions for long-term problems. We about tired of this. The streets is clowning out there because they tired of this. They out there killing one and they don't know who to kill because they tired of this. This ain't by accident that you see going out there right in them streets right now. This ain't by accident. This is careful planning, man. This is careful planning what you see out here in these streets. Careful. We know who you are. We know you're gonna find a way. By hook or crook. Man gonna eat. Man ain't gonna starve. You see what a lion do when a lion get hungry? He and man. Man ain't in it. Man was made first. If he'll tear it up and eat it, you know what man gonna do. This is going on by design. And they knew that they can discredit me. They knew that they could discredit you. They knew that they can figure out a way to keep you from going to school. They knew if they keep you bowing down and depending on this and this alone, that life is going to be real hard for us. My mom didn't tell me to go, well, she told me to go to school, but she didn't make me realize or know that school was ultimately going to be the design of my failure for not going. We don't realize this until we have made the mistakes already. We don't realize this until we have messed up already. You know why? Because the man ain't in the house. The man is not in the house. The man ain't there to tell the son, listen, son, whoa, wait a minute. Can't go down that road. I don't care what your mama said, boy, don't go down that road. They said that's the right road, take left. Go left then. Don't go down there. Because it look right. Seem to be right, but that ain't right. You might not find out for 2-3 years down that road. But when you find out, guess what you do? Change church homes. No, I'm just joking. But that's what you do. Because then nobody tell you. We ain't warning one another. That just because it say church out front, don't mean that it means church inside. It can mean Satan inside, man. And I ain't talking about inside the walls, I'm talking about inside the body, man. It can mean Satan. Because we know. We all know. That's why I just want to talk to the men. I don't want to talk to nobody I can lead around and, you know, I got to dummy up too. Don't y'all get tired of dummying up? You got to dummy down to a person to get a person, to try to help a person. Oh, man, yeah, man, you know I really meant this, man, you know. Now I got to dumb down to you because you're weak and you're soft. Rather than just saying, hey, bro, I ain't understanding that, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be there. We get so offended by the little girly stuff. Ain't nothing manly about this little girly stuff we getting offended by, man. At the end of the day, it ain't putting no food on the table. It ain't taking none off. It really ain't got no business even being discussed. It's all about doing man stuff. Man stuff. Like I said, we're going to just point out a couple things, man, again. Then, Ezekiel 37, 9, 10. Then said unto me, prophecy unto the wind, prophecy, son of man, say to the wind, listen, man, I keep going over these scriptures, man, because I want you to know how powerful you are. I want you to know who you are. They have made us believe again, man. I ain't talking about, when I keep saying they, I ain't talking about white people neither. I'm talking about white and black. I'm talking about everybody when I say they, because everybody had a hand in it. Then said he unto me, prophecy unto winds, prophecy, son of man, and say to me, thus said the Lord, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they might live. Man, listen, man, God didn't breathe breath into man. Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen, I'm gonna read this again, man. Then said he unto me, prophecy unto the wind. Thus said the Lord, come from the four winds, O breath, breathe upon these slain.